So another one of the exercises that we'll modify here a lot for kind of a PRI bend or any kind of pull-ups, pull-downs. One of the real common things we'll see with this is that you, again, kind of get into an overextended position. So with a pull-up, what that might look like is, as I pull myself up to the bar, whether it's an overhand or an underhand grip, is I may try to bring my chest up to the bar, and what will happen is that's going to let my pelvis down forward, my rib cage flare up, and I'm going to be in this extended position. Same kind of thing happens with like a seated lat pull down. I reach up, and as I pull, again, I may end up in this extended position. So one of the modifications we'll make with that is to try to adjust this position of your trunk, your hips and pelvis prior to starting that, and then try to maintain that through the pull. So as opposed to being here, what we'll try to do is to get you into a position where you kind of pull the hips up under you. We'll actually get you to kind of exhale and try to bring the ribs down, so that you sort of create this like stacked canister position. So I should have some tension in my abs the entire time. Should have my hips under me, and then I'm going to try to maintain that as I go through either the pull up or the pull down. Okay. So like a bad rep may look something like this. So what we would do if we were going to do a full body weight pull up is we would try to coach hips under, exhale down, kind of hang on to this position, and then maintain that through that rep. And so with the pull up, pull down, if you couldn't maintain that with a body weight rep, then we would modify it to do something where maybe we had you on a bench or on a rack where you had your feet supported. It could take some of the load off of it. Okay. So one of the things that you may need to do when you're working on this is to regress it a little bit, because now you're trying to pay attention to your position and being able to hold that through the rep versus just how many reps can I get. So if you're used to doing this one way, this may be a little difficult at first. So one thing you can do if you're at the gym is either have a bench, if you've got a power rack where you can put the barbell across it low enough, basically where you can get your feet supported on something to take some of the weight off. So in this case, use a chair. Now I've got some support to allow me to get this position. So I still want to do this little back pocket tuck. And then I can work through that rep. So another super common gym exercise that we spend a lot of time teaching, coaching in the clinic here is a squat. So again, what you're going to see typically in gym setting with a squat, especially a barbell back squat, is going to be, again, an overextended position where I'm going to have my hips too far forward, my ribs are going to pop up. So if I have a barbell on my back, or even if it's a body weight squat, you're going to see something along the line. So now I've got a lot of tension on my hips, my back, and it's going to limit how far I can actually go into depth. So there's several different ways that we can regress this, but what we're looking for is a position where, again, we've got pelvis and rib cage stacked on top of each other, and we're trying to maintain that through the rep. So without the props, here, versus there. So hopefully in that second round, everything stayed under me a little bit. I was obviously able to get better depth. And what we're doing is progressing toward whatever loaded version you want, but with a better position. So bench press, another super common exercise that gets blamed for a lot of shoulder issues. Sometimes it may be more about how you do it versus the exercise itself. So what I want to show is kind of the typical rep, even how a lot of people get coached. And again, there's time and place for everything, but as far as just your general fitness in the gym, maybe our second version of how we would look at it here from a PRI perspective might be a little healthier on the shoulders, a little bit better position for you. So the typical thing you see is going to, again, be kind of an overextended arch position. So whether this is a barbell or a dumbbell chest press, what you typically see is a big low back arch. You'll see the ribs flare up. And as I press, you may even see the head come off the bench. You may even see the butt come off the bench. Again, big overextended position. again, how we would coach this is to organize what's going on in the middle, again, to put the head, the neck, the shoulders in a better position. So what I would do, depending on the height of the bench, is could be some plates at the gym, could be a couple of little boxes, could even go feet elevated on the bench. But something to lift my legs up a little bit that's going to allow me to flatten my back versus arch it. So from here, I'm going to do a slight little pelvic tilt. I want to feel my low back on the bench. I'm actually going to actively reach forward. And then from here, I'm going to press. Chin's going to be tilted back a little bit as opposed to tucked. So again, like anytime you change your technique or form, it helps to regress it, to get used to holding that shape so that you can do that as you build toward heavier and heavier weights. But what we find real commonly is when you make that modification, a lot of the shoulder, neck issues that folks have in the gym with benching tend to go away.